So, good evening, everyone. So, I'm Pooja Munjal. Welcome you all once again in our talk series. And today we have with us Atul Gaurav, sir, with us. He has done his MSc from JNU and he is also the founder of Pravega Education. And today we have come with a new topic of this talk series, and that is how we can learn, revise, and perform better in classical mechanics. And we know that Atul sir has been teaching classical mechanics and quantum mechanics, like it has been around 10 to 15 years that he has been teaching it. So, Atul sir, I welcome you on
Thank you.
behalf of everyone.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you.
And yeah,
Uh,
so the very first question that I would like to ask you is what is actually the importance of classical mechanics? And is there any difference between Newtonian mechanics that we consider mostly as classical mechanics and the Lagrangian or the Hamiltonian formulation that we study during our MSc, which is introduced to us in our MSc? So what is the difference, or are they the same, are these the same things? So yeah.
okay. Thank you, Pooja, for this talk first. So, obviously, this is a very important and very tough question for me that you can how you can separate Newtonian mechanics to classical mechanics and all this thing. But if you will see the whole history of classical mechanics, it is not started with the Newton itself. In the
Mhm.
ancient Indian history, you can have all astronomy, all the sun and earth correlation. So everything you have all data before this Newtonian. But yes, if we are going to the modern education system, then Newtonian mechanics is very important law. And the famous event that apple falls in the garden, and the people think that just physics started from there only, but I believe that Newtonian mechanics have earlier also, and everything whatever we visualize, everything whatever we measure are the part of classical mechanics. So from my point of view, we cannot separate Newtonian mechanics to the modern way of using classical mechanics. Obviously, the way of formulation is entirely different. And from me, Newtonian mechanics and classical mechanics is same thing. But yes, we have different way to analyze the cause and effect of the system. So for me, both are more or less same thing. And what's your second question? I forgot that.
So the first question was the importance of the
Okay,
classical
okay.
mechanics.
So
Yeah.
important of classical mechanics is it is the most fundamental topic if you are going for the modern science, and it will follow the actual cause and effect, the predictability of the system. If you know the initial condition of a system, you can easily tell about the futuristic condition of a system. And uh, so why this is very fundamental thing. And once we learn the classical mechanics, then only we can go for the modern physics or statistical mechanics or electromagnetic theory. All the actually birth root of all different subject are from actually classical mechanics. And modern day we are using this all thing from the via of this nonlinear dynamics into finance also. And statistical mechanics is a wonderful uh, area of the research which has also root from classical mechanics. And you know that classical mechanics is just filling the bridge between quantum mechanics and the microscopic world. So that is all the so why classical mechanics is so important.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, this is very rightly said. These days we are getting into quantum, but yes, we do get some feeling how it can
Yes,
be derived
yes,
from the classical.
yes,
The
yes, yes,
one-to-one correlation is always there.
yes.
So, sir, what, according to you, should be the approach or the correct approach for the students with regard to this course and with respect to the teaching and learning as well? So,
First of all, classical mechanics is most fundamental topic, and you must dig your head into this topic, either you like or not. So this is most important thing, and you should start obviously from equation of motion, Newton's three law, and then you should go to the Lagrangian formulation, the scalar formulation. Actually, Newton's law is all about vector calculation, and it is very useful into one-dimensional to calculation for one-dimensional system. But when we will go for the complicated system, more than one particle system, then you need to go into some another way of calculation, and that is what Lagrangian formulation is there. But Lagrangian formulation is not enough to understand all kind of symmetry. Just like a Newtonian formulation, you can talk about conservation of momentum, you can talk about force, you can talk about conservation of angular momentum, but when the energy part will come and another symmetry, our nature have lot of symmetries hidden inside it. So Lagrangian and Newtonian are not enough to discuss that thing. Then we have to go for new method to work on it, that is Hamiltonian, Poisson bracket, Leibniz theorem, and then we can go for another tools, that is a canonical transformation and generating function, Hamilton-Jacobi, action angle principle. So they all are a wonderful association with Lagrangian, but they are little bit different, and hence each and every topic are associated to each other. Then you cannot start from anywhere, so you have to start from your Newtonian, and then you have to feel some problems, that okay, there are some problem, I am not able to solve this thing, you have to feel some difficulties, then you can switch to the Lagrangian. And once you are switching into Lagrangian, then you will feel another type of difficulty, that is equation of constraint, how you can understand the coordinate transformation, which coordinate system is most important thing to solve the problem. So that once you will feel that difficulty, then only you can appreciate that the Lagrangian formulation, and after then Hamiltonian and other canonical part and phase space part will be come into picture.
yeah. So both the approaches has to be taken care of.
Yes, you have to learn Newtonian mechanics, but it has own limitation for the common person like me and you.
Yeah.
Okay, Newton can understand each and everything from the Newtonian mechanics point of view, but we are the common people, we cannot work simultaneously for the difficult problem, mainly for the vectors calculation. So why we need some scalar function, and ultimately we will reach at the Newton's law. Once you will solve the Lagrangian calculation, you will find the final solution is equivalent to equation of motion, which can be derived from the Newton's law. When you will solve the Hamiltonian formulation, the final solution will be exactly from the Newton's law of motion. So ultimately our conclusion is Newton's law, but yes, the way of calculation, the way of formulation is entirely different in the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian formulation.
Sir, there is one more thing that during our MSc, that means when we are almost like finishing our coursework in MSc, so we are introduced with these canonical transformations and Hamilton-Jacobi equations come, and we are introduced to them in such a way that it is only mathematical concept. So is it so, or is there any physical significance as well associated to them?
If you will talk about the formulation, then okay, yes, it is mathematical formulation, because we have to work into mainly 6-dimensional space for the phase space mainly. So yes, it is mathematical, but once you will go to the conclusion side, once you will go to the after doing this mathematics, what is your final conclusion? How you can analyze the system? Then the pure physics will come into picture. For example, when you have your harmonic oscillator, and if you are solving this harmonic oscillator in a phase space, and you are doing some beautiful generating function transformation, again you will see the new picture of harmonic oscillator, and very fortunately we will see that this new picture is exactly matching with the quantum mechanical system. So yes, mathematics is there, and huge mathematics is there. I cannot deny that this is not mathematical. It's a very, very mathematical. But after doing mathematics, once you are going to analyze the system, and the analysis part is not a mathematical, rather it is complete and full physical thing. So we have to bring physics in the analysis part. It is very important. So from my point of view, this is not purely mathematics. This is mix of mathematics, and final conclusion is yes, there is physics.
So sir, you have been teaching for like, it's been a very long time. I mean,
Yes.
I remember that I was once your student long back. And so during these so many years, you have been coming across many problems that are being faced by the students.
Yes.
So can you just tell us some general problems which are faced by the students, and which are generally you must be hearing from the students?
Actually, when people going into classical mechanics, they are, this is my personal feeling, they are not very excited. Why? Because they don't know what is the ultimate outcome of this particular subject. So first, most challenging thing for a teacher like me to develop the interest of classical mechanics, because it is very fundamental, it is very applicable topic, because you can see nowadays in whole astronomy and space control system and all these things, we are using the huge classical mechanical, all microscopic world are deal with the huge classical mechanics thing. So first thing is interest. So interest is very important. But second thing from the student point of view is that students are not digging the head where it is they have to dig. For example, if you want to solve the Lagrangian, they are just thinking about, okay, I have to write kinetic energy and I have to write potential energy. Okay, it's good. You have to write kinetic energy and potential energy. But point is that you have to use the independent coordinate system. And for that independent coordinate system, what you need to write the equation of constraint in a very nice way. And once you are writing the equation of constraint, then you have to be so sensible that once you are writing equation of constraint in a Cartesian coordinate, you have to feeling of the coordinate transformation or the symmetry of a system. So at this area, a student doesn't give time. They are directly jumping to the problems of the Lagrangian and the writing equation of motion. So this is the biggest problem a student face, I think. The second thing is that before starting to classical mechanics, they forgot to learn differential equation, mainly second order differential equation, because ultimately your Newton's law is nothing but the equation of motion, which is second order differential equation. And if you are not able to connect your second order differential equation to your problem, then obviously classical mechanics is headache for you. You cannot give any judgment to the final equation. So it is very important that mathematical physics teacher and classical mechanics teacher should talk together, should feel the difference, should feel the pain of a student, that what is going to happen in my course. And what we are also using this thing in our Pravega education platform, that we are sitting together and discussing the thing that, okay, this is the main problem, and this should be actually overcome by the mathematical physics. So, and we are very fortunate that we have a wonderful mathematical physics teacher as Alok sir. So my most of headache is taken by him. So I am a little bit of free man now. I have to only discuss mathematics actually. And the second thing, when a student is preparing the classical mechanics, they are just writing kinetic energy, potential energy, equation of motion. That's it. No, you should be understand the system like a story. You should understand your simple pendulum like a one movie. You should understand your moving pendulum just like one movie. This is entirely different movie. This is again different movie. And in each and every movie you have, as you are recognizing the different characters, so why you have to also recognize different character. For example, if we are writing the Lagrangian, then one character is generalized coordinate, another character is cyclic coordinate, another character is your conservation law, another character is equation of motion, another character after then you have to go for time evolution of a state at how x is going to moving with time, which type of curve is there. So you cannot just solve problem. Okay, I have solved one problem. I have solved one problem. This is not a way to learn classical mechanics. In classical mechanics, you have to respect system, and then you have to analyze each and every part. This part is missing from every student because they are always in hurry. That okay, today I have to make 10 question. No, just solve one question, just solve two question, but with full of effort, with full of a story. So this is one more important thing. And second thing, a student doesn't know their limitation of the classical mechanics. In general, in a classical mechanics part, we are solving only ideal case. But actual system and actual world is not ideal. If I am talking about ideal system, I am talking about the linear system. You cannot solve simple pendulum completely unless until you are not going for the Taylor expansion or you are taking the first order approximation. So this difficulty is very important. The feeling of this difficulty is very important, up to which level we can solve it. And then only you can enjoy this particular topic.
Yeah, so I guess it's a great lesson for us that we should feel classical mechanics as well, because I know I can completely agree with you that we don't ever take a feeling out of it.
Yes, we should actually we
as
should
a student, yeah.
Yes, we should
As a
talk. Yes,
yeah,
you
sorry,
continue.
sorry, no, please.
So you should talk to your system. This is very important.
Yeah.
Unless until you are not talking to your simple pendulum, he will also not talk to you. That is the only thing. There is
Right.
there is actually two-way communication. Okay, but yes, we have to talk in a mathematics. Okay, that which mathematics are telling which story. So this is very important from classical mechanics point of view.
Yeah. Maybe this is the missing link that that's the reason that people do not like classical mechanics, or they are afraid of solving questions of classical mechanics.
Yes.
So, yeah. So how would you advise your students how to revise and perform in this subject? So yes, you have told us that you have to get the feeling first.
Yes, that is for the learning part, but examination is entirely different thing.
Yeah.
It is entirely different thing. There are sheer pressure of performance, and a lot of things are there, time constraint, and so I will advise a student, just go to first previous year questions, try to do it, and try to see all four options. Because in a classical mechanics, if you will do little bit wrong calculation, you will land to the another wrong option. So try to think why these all four options are given. This is very important, mainly for the classical mechanics point of view. And thing is that they should understand the trend of the problem. What is trend of the problem? You can see right now we are starting with this Newtonian mechanics, but hardly one question from the Newtonian mechanics. But you should learn Newtonian mechanics. That is very important. You will go to the Lagrangian. Maybe there is one question from the Lagrangian. But thing is that the trend of Lagrangian is not sticking to that you have to write the Lagrangian of a system. The trend is towards the conservation. The trend is towards the symmetry. The trend is towards the nonlinearity of the system. So you should feel the trend and try to prepare like that. And obviously, in a classical mechanics, 2 and 3 questions are obviously tough questions, but all other questions are directly from your conceptual point of view. So you should understand, for example, if conservation law will come, then which classical formulation I have to use? Is that Hamiltonian is enough? Or should I go for the Poisson-Brechter or the time evolution or the Noether theorem? So this is important thing. So what you have to do, you have to just take one system and apply each and everything to that system. And if you will see the problem, then your problem is sticking to the system, mainly harmonic oscillator or simple pendulum, or more or less mainly damped oscillation or little bit force oscillation, sun earth system, Kepler's problem. So you have very few system. They will not ask you any abstract system, give you any abstract system, and they will ask something onto that. That is also challenge for them also. Okay, so they will ask, they will give you ideal system, and you have to analyze all these ideal system before your exam, such that in the examination you can approach in a very correct way. And only few system, more or less 5 to 6 system is more than enough to understand the whole classical mechanics picture. If I can count the name is simple pendulum, harmonic oscillator, double pendulum, rotating pendulum, moving pendulum, all are pendulums. Only 1 degree of freedom is there. So you should think like that. You should generalize the thing. So why we are using generalized coordinates? And then in each and every problem, you should understand where is conservation law, is that angular momentum is conserved or not, is that energy is conserved or not, is that force are there or not, किस तरह के forces हैं, किस तरह के potentials हैं, ये सब आपको पहले से ही समझ कर रखना चाहिए. And if you are going to command on this thing, this is more than enough.
So yes, so this would actually bring me to your next question, which is what books should we actually refer for classical mechanics?
We are very lucky that in a classical mechanics we have a lot of good books. So obviously the first is Goldstein, second is given by Landau, and these 2 book is complete, and another book is Kleppner, and one book is also that Classical Mechanics by Morin. I think this is the book. You can take David Morin. There are a lot of problem into this book. So this is also good book, but I will suggest you from a different point of view. I will suggest you from the topic wise topic that which book I prefer, and it's up to you that which book you are going to prefer. So first for basic concept up to the Lagrangian, I prefer Landau. The Hamiltonian part, the canonical part is best into the canonical part, generating function, and action angle part is best given into your Goldstein. The Kepler problem is best into Kleppner. Okay, so this is best into Kleppner. I follow Kleppner there. And for non-linear dynamics, the first 2 chapter is from Stogard. That is very nice book. And first 2 chapter, not more than that. The phase space part, you can go for this particular thing, Goldstein or Landau. This is also good for phase space part. And these are enough. And yes, for the problems, you can choose any book as you like. Okay.
So yes, so sir, what is actually the current trend of questions that are being asked in different examinations?
Yes. So
So
the trend is very predicted as classical system is predicted. There are some questions on conservation of any physical quantity where you have to use either Poisson bracket or Noether theorem. That is the only thing. Second is trend is that now the focus is shifting from phase space to nonlinear dynamics. So there will be question from the phase space also, as well as the question from the nonlinear dynamics also. But if you are going into nonlinear dynamics, just stick to your simple pendulum or system like simple pendulum, very simple thing. The stability analysis is very important topic right now. And yes, there the old thing that generating function canonical transformation is always there. And I feel the toughest part for the student in the examination is the Kepler's problem and two body problem. Because if you will see the previous year question of two body problem and Kepler's problem, then it is really very fundamental and very application based problem. So there you can use Newtonian mechanics too, or you can use classical mechanics too. So you should be open minded which type of thing you are using. And moment of inertia is not a favorite topic right now in the NET examination, but it is very favorite topic in JAM examination. The rigid body part is very simple right now. It's just a motion in a plane, rigid body motion in a plane. So they are not asking the whole space Euler's equation of the rigid part. So they are simple, and very few questions are from the rigid body dynamics. But yes, this formulation part is very important, but it will start from Lagrangian and extended to nonlinear dynamics. So course is really wide.
yeah. So sir, in the very beginning of our talk, you mentioned that classical mechanics helps in building up quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, EMT, and other topics. So
Yes.
how does it actually help other subjects? Quantum mechanics, still there is an understanding. Okay, there is a linking between the two, but for others, it is still a bit
Yes.
difficult.
Uh, Actually, as I had told you that this classical mechanics is fundamental and it is connected to each and every topic. So let us take an example first for quantum mechanics. The whole Hamiltonian formulation is from classical mechanics. The Poisson bracket and commutation rule, which finally a very beautiful commutation will give you the commutation rule into the quantum mechanics. So this Poisson bracket directly transform to quantum mechanics that x px in classical mechanics is 1 and x px in quantum mechanics is I h cut. So you have this thing. And in statistical mechanics, the whole concept of your phase space is the basic building of a statistical mechanics. And after then using the Hamiltonian, the solving problem into x and p is the main asset of a statistical mechanics, and that can be derived from your classical mechanics. And when you will go for the electromagnetic theory, the all the formulation part, the D'Alembert and wave part, they all are derived from the classical mechanics. If you are talking about wave, then obviously you have to talk about first oscillatory system, and the all oscillatory system is first discussed into classical mechanics, and after then we use EMT, and then after we use in quantum mechanics. And same time in nonlinear dynamics, the nonlinear dynamics is the extension of classical mechanics. In classical mechanics, mainly we are using the linear term. When it will come to the nonlinearity, then the whole new topic is going to evolve. So this is the thing for the this is beauty of all classical mechanics, and you can correlate each and everything there.
So yeah, thank you, sir. I guess we are running out of time over here, but just before leaving, I would like to ask you one last question.
Mhm.
So yes, so at Pravega Education, so what will be the approach of teaching classical mechanics? How you will be teaching it? Will there be something new which will be added to the course so that people are much more involved in classical mechanics? They like classical mechanics or
Yes.
something like this?
First of thing in at the Pravega, the group of teacher, including you also. So group of teachers and mentors sit together, and we are discussing from the point of view of a student that how this subject should be go to the in a very nice way to the student. So mathematical physics is very important component to do the good in classical mechanics. And at Pravega, I am just going to introduce extra part is the system analysis for the classical mechanics. What I am going to do after doing all the part of classical mechanics, we will take 4 and 5 system, and we will analyze this system from each and every formulation point of view. Suppose I am taking simple pendulum, then I will try to analyze simple pendulum from Lagrangian, same time from Hamiltonian, same time from phase space point of view, and everything we will do after the course completion, such that the course will be appear to student just like a very okay, this is a very small course. And also we are trying to introduce nonlinear dynamics part here, because in the last year itself, last 2 years, there are two problems from the nonlinear dynamics, and most of the people think that this question is from mathematical physics or this question is from anywhere else, but they are the part of nonlinear dynamics. So yes, we have 4 and 5 classes extra for nonlinear dynamics. So apart from all my, and yes, I always learn how to teach from time to time. So we are just introducing more or more Newtonian mechanics also, because some student tell me that, sir, we are not very good at the Newtonian mechanics for the friction problem. So we will also introduce that also. So yes, we will try to complete more and more areas from the student's point of view.
Yeah.
And also we are using trying to use program, Python program or something, such that we can give simulation uh, analysis analyze the same from the simulation point of view. So these are our main idea. Let's see how
So,
far we can touch the thing.
so I guess that will be a complete picture for all the students if they are able to solve a single system in 4 different ways.
Yes.
And then in addition, they are getting the programming
Yes,
feeling as well.
we are
So-
trying to do this thing. We are talking a lot of people, and yes, we will try to do this thing. Surely we will try to do this thing.
I guess that will be better for all the students.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we should stop now because we are already 10 minutes above our deadline.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I thank you all, and thank you, sir, especially for joining us and giving us
thank you,
this
thank you,
insightful.
thank you, Pooja, for conducting such a wonderful talk from Pravega, from point of view of Pravega. And yes, I think it is also beneficial for every student and for teacher also, because teachers should know that what is real problem of a student.
Exactly.
Because and at the Pravega, we are absolutely going to change the whole education system of the coachings. Okay, so we are working on that. The time will tell where we are approaching or not. So yes, and we believe on our team, our students mainly, that the today's students are not a student of 1980s. They are more smarter than us, and they will like the place where they are more beneficial. So this is the challenge for us, that we should work hard and deliver our best. Thank you, Pooja.
Okay, thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.